Yes, so good day and welcome once again to the talk, to this tech talk today. Anyway, guys, what I'm talking about here, it's simple. I'm talking about Linux Mint, that is the 21.1 or 2 or something. That's the latest Linux Mint, okay? Now, for a while, I didn't actually have a computer. I get a low-end computer, which I will show you the specs in a while. So I could do certain things. I can't game on stuff yet because I doesn't have a video card as yet, but things will take its course eventually. Right, so what I'm saying here is this, that I like Linux Mint. I use other distributions on the Linux area, but I like Linux Mint too. And I like running it and doing things on it. The only thing is that Cinnamon is a very good environment to work with, but I just always feel more comfortable working with Gnome or Gnome. I always feel much comfortable with it. Why? Because it doesn't look like Windows. It just doesn't look like Windows. It is far from Windows in relation to look or anything else. Hence the reason I enjoy using Gnome. It's like having a bad relationship, but then you have to always be looking at people, looking like the person who you had a bad relationship with. Yeah, that is Windows to me. So I prefer the Gnome look, and to get it like that, it is simple. Alright, if you put on Linux Mint and you want the Gnome look, all you gotta do, just install the Gnome shell. It's just like sudo apt, well, that is in full caps. You're not gonna do that. Sudo apt, and you have install Gnome. That you type in that in your terminal, and there you go. You click enter and you follow the instructions and you install it. Now mind you, there is a time when you'll reach and it'll ask you to tell your configure in GDM3 or something to that effect, and then you'll see light DM. Don't select light DM, select the GDM3 or something and click enter. Do not select the light. I don't, it just don't work for me like that. I prefer use the GDM. As they say, they instruct you to configure it, so that's what you have to select. Then when you're finished, you log out, or you restart if you want to, and you click the password box, and then you will look at the right side corner down at the bottom of the screen. You will see a little cog, then you click on it and you select which environment you want to use, whether you want to use the default one or you want to use the Gnome on Xorg or whatever. You choose that, and then you most definitely comes up with this, and that is Gnome. So if you want to see the specs what I have on my computer, let's go to settings, then right, so we go to settings here, and then you go down here, about, and there you have all my business in front of you. Right, so you could take a good look, because there it is, the name, my device name, my hardware model, which are Dell Inc. Optiplex 7010. Everybody know that it's an older model, but for Linux it all nothing old. For Linux, everything working just brand new and nice. You look at the processor, yeah, it's an old processor too, but for Linux it's right on top with the best. i7 3770 CPU. right? And it runs at 3.4 gigahertz. It's a 8-core CPU, right? The graphics card is a 80 AMD graphics card, which, well, it's good for the basic Windows operating systems and functions and stuff like that. The basic functions of the operating system, but it's not good for gaming at no point. Okay. And then, as you can see, my OS name, which I was telling you, is a Linux Mint 21.1. The OS type is a 64-bit. You could see my Gnome version is, well, it's authentic. Basically, a 42.5. My windowing system XR or X11, right? But what you can also see is that that particular operating system is based on Ubuntu, right? So there we go. So you have the Wi-Fi. I'm not saying the Wi-Fi because I already have this on, so I'm gonna beat up myself. You have a network. You could configure network to suit. You have Bluetooth. I don't find Bluetooth does really work on this board because for some reason I don't think this board have a Bluetooth module. I have to basically investigate it more. It doesn't actually have a Wi-Fi module too. So, well, it's a desktop, so you know what happens with desktop, right? So it doesn't have a Bluetooth module. It doesn't have a Wi-Fi module, which you could always buy and put that in, and then you're good. You understand? But what you will see, you could see is that there are times when you will see the Bluetooth manager here. But if you click it, then you can search for a Bluetooth because there isn't a Bluetooth module, right? So you have to consider that, right? Yeah. So where we at now? So let us get it going. Right. So you have this. Let's go back to settings. It's just a nice way to learn stuff, right? So you have Bluetooth background. If you want to change your background, you can do that. Two background here is customized. Is my custom background what I usually use. But then you can change background as you want. Just going in there and just click them. To get there, you can just right click on the screen and you'll say change background to. And then you could just change your background to suit your personality, your likeness, maybe your mood, stuff like that. You can just choose your background because Linux Mint comes with a lot of backgrounds. It comes with a lot, so you could just check it out. I like this one. This one is just nice. The only thing with it is a little bit like bright. It's bright and everything. So there you go, seeing all the Ubuntu background, this KD black background, well, Debian background and stuff like that. There is a lot of backgrounds in this place, in this thing. You choose what you really want. Alright, so you could choose what you want. Ubuntu. Okay, what I personally always feel, I could put on this one too. It's Manjaro, but this is Linux Mint, and then I always like this one because somehow this one have a calming effect on me. So you can change your background, right? You can configure, well, which app you want to get notification from. Basically, all these things here is on default, so I don't have nothing to bother with them. I just leave that. If you want to not to be disturbed, then there you goes, right? Then you have search for the apps that you would like to search for. You have all these apps and they selected. You want to search for whether, you just put on that too. That is not necessary. I'm just gonna leave these things in default. Multitask, well, you determine how you deal with your screen and stuff like that. Alright, so active screen edge. Alright, so as you can see, You know, your hot corner. Watch. Those are your hot corners, you know. Right, so you do it to suit yourself, right? Everything, you fix number of workspaces, primary, display only. Yes, you can do that. So all these things are things you could just get into it, and there you have all your applications. Right, we're not gonna go through all that now, but we'll talk about, let us pass through by privacy and connectivity check-in. Well, then you'll have to do that. Then you have your location services. You put on your location services if you want. In case sometimes an application as for your location, Thunderbolt is basically not supported. Then you have your file history trash. You can just delete the temporary history, just clear it, you know, just clear them, you know, and you're good to go. Then you have your screen. So then if you want your screen to blank in 5 minutes, really blank in 5 minutes, I don't just put it on never, because I usually just blank out my screen already, because every time my computer on is because I am at it. Okay, then you have your lock screen or suspend that is providing, you know, you touch your buttons, automatically screen lock delay, your screen turns off, you know how much. Well, check this out. You could do a little diagnostic to send error reports to Canonical. Well, you know, most of these people always want a little something from how you're using your stuff. Then you could set up your online accounts, whether you're dealing with Nextcloud, Microsoft, Flickr, whatever. You could just set it up, Google, you know, you do your thing. And if you gotta share, then you gotta most definitely turn on all file sharing. So you gotta start from up here, right? And then you have to do your file sharing and everything. I ain't sharing anything yet, so I'm not gonna need that. No. And your song system, you have to know where your song system, because sometimes, you know, who knows, your system just decide to select something else, you know, and then you're not getting any song. So if you're not getting song, the first place to check is in your song system to see if everything working normal there, everything selected, and so you have to do that. Then you have the power, right? So wireless gaming mouse, my mouse, you have some charge, but you get a battery in a time. Screen blank, never as a selected, automatic suspend on, power button behavior, suspense. If you press the suspend, you could just power it off, you could change it, but I'm gonna just leave it this by default. Then you have your displays. So what you are seeing, actually I have one display running 60 Hz, and then it's a resolution in 1920 by 1080 at 16.9, good style. You know, you have your scaling to 100, scaling to 200, fractional scaling. You could just turn on all these things. You know, I leave in the default because I doesn't do things that I really need at this moment. You know, I do things that I usually use. You know, so you could configure your mouse speed. You know, if it's just natural scrolling, you could just consider it normal. You know, my mouse working proper, I don't really worry about it. You know, my keyboard. So then you could get your layout, your default layout. You know how you want your keyboard to set up. Your language. Maybe you want who knows, maybe an English, a UK setup. You know, you could do that here. Try it out, it will work. If you want to add printers, I'm not adding any printers right now. And then you have removable media, what you want to do with them. Well, you basically leave that, so if you want to, and then ask, then you can watch your color scheme. That's the name of the monitor that I'm using. It's an HPP 22 full monitor, right? Right, so then regional language. Well, actually, our language basically from English, United States, the formats. Our keyboard is like format, kind of American format anyway. Accessibility. You go through here, you do what you gotta do. High contrast, you see I'm changing everything, right? But you don't need, I mean, I don't need all those things. So at least not yet, right? So I'm not gonna go through it and testing out and see what worked for me at that given time. All the different users working on your, and you know, that you have on your PC. But as you can see, it's me, I alone. Okay, I could change it, I could do what I want, you know. My password, I could do whatever, change my password, do whatever. Okay, because I'm the user. Alright, to get in there, you must have a password. You understand? So I have my password, but I'm not getting in there. So you have your default application, the application that you want to launch at startup. Those things would, right? Always check your date and your time, as you can see, right? Your format, you know. So you always check that out. And we're back to about again. So I just give you a brief rundown about things, right, on my Linux Mint as it is right now. And my Linux Mint is not running in VirtualBox or anything. It is running on hardware, you know, hardware right now. I am not telling you that, you know, it's running in a VirtualBox hardware, right? And this is how I want to keep it. So, brethren and sisters, it's always a pleasure being here, you know, and I want to do stuff, more stuff. If you feel for some reason that I should do anything more, let me know in the comments, really and truly. Just let me know and I will tell you, because I basically don't want to be on no Windows right now. You know, I give Windows a rest, you know, right? So I want to learn Linux in a way. So if you want me to give you my experience with different distro and stuff, I'm willing to, but just let me know, because I don't want to bore you or anything. So I'll tell you what, I'll see you guys in another video. Be at peace, be blessed, and have a wonderful night.